Hello there all my lovely jewelry makers, I'm Christina of CSLdesigns and today I'm going to try out another subscription box. Now Czech Beads exclusive contacted me and asked if I wanted to try out their box, and of course I said yes because I'm always quite curious about these different subscription boxes that are on the market. So what I'm going to do is the same thing that I've done the last few times where we open it together, so I've not had a sneak peek or anything, just to get first impressions of what's in the box. And then the plan is to go away, have a little bit of a play with some of the things in the box and then see what I can come up with. So with that said, let's dig into it because I'm curious what's actually in the box. So I have the box right here. Now my first impression when I got it was that it's actually quite small because the other ones that I've tried so far are fairly large compared to this. Now obviously there's quite a lot of empty space and it's not packed out or anything, so the box itself doesn't really show you that much. But what I will say a plus with this is this actually fit through my letterbox, whereas the other ones haven't, so they've had to be hand delivered. So in case you're not in to take it, bigger sizes obviously may be a little bit problematic, but this one actually fit through my letterbox. But what I will say is even though it seems quite small, it actually feels pretty heavy, so I can imagine that it's quite full, which is also why I'm curious to see what's actually in it. Now I do also just want to mention the box that they sent me here was October's box, and they sent it a little while ago, but for some reason the shipping got a little bit delayed, so I only literally just received it prior to recording this. So if you're looking on the website, it's not going to be this exact box that you'll probably be able to get, but it can give you a rough idea anyway. Anyway, enough talk, let's dig into it. So like I said, it seems pretty small, but it feels quite heavy. So opening it up, you got the brand in there at the front, telling you what box it is. And then we do have a bit of paperwork here. Now I did see that the theme for this box, because it is just materials that you seem to get from what I've read about it, but they do also kind of make themes in different months. And an October box, which was this one, was Christmas themed. So let's see what's in here. We've got some paperwork, which also isn't too huge or anything, but it doesn't really need to be. We don't need to waste too much paper, do we? And explaining to you what's in it, I'm guessing. So just put that to the side, and then we have a bit of a business card as well. Oh, right. Some sizing and some beads. That's pretty clever. Can always save that and keep it handy. Right, so let's actually look in the box. So, like I thought, it does seem pretty full. I think I'm just gonna more or less just dump it out. Bit easier to have a look then. And get the box out of the way. So we have what looks to be a bunch of bags with different beads in. And that's everything. Put the box out of the way. That seems like quite a bit here actually. Right, so where to start? That's the question. Right, so it does seem to be a mix of different things. So we have seed beads. I'm going to look at them more closely, but just a rough overview here. Some different small seed beads and then some other shaped beads as well. And also, I did read as well, they also put findings and things in them. Oh, they look quite unusual. So we have a little charm there. Star Christmas themed. Some more seed beads. Oh, they look interesting. So just a quick overview, but I'm going to be going through them a little bit more detail. Wow, some really large ones as well. Oh, that's nice. Little snowflakes. Little charms there. So I think I'm just going to push them a little bit out of the way and then kind of go through them a little bit in more detail. And then also reference the paper. So, question is where to start here. Let me just get the paper and see how it looks. If we just show you the paper again, there's quite a lot in here actually. So I think the easiest thing would be to kind of just pick a bag and then try and identify it. But it probably also says on here, it says your product code and that. And then try and identify it on the paper. Probably a little bit easier. I saw some similar ones here, some quite large. It's almost like seed beads, but they're quite large, which is pretty unusual. There actually seems to be 3 different colours in these ones. Like I said, it's almost like seed beads, the shape and that, but pretty large, which I haven't really seen before. Very large holes as well. You'll be able to get a lot through there. Either really thick cord, maybe leather cord, put them onto that, string them onto that. Or if you make, say, kumihimo braids, and you can probably feed these beads onto an actual braid or get the cords through and then braid on either side. definitely quite different. And then the silver line basically on the inside. So that's pretty interesting. I've never seen beads quite like this before, where it's basically huge seed beads more or less. So obviously there's different size rounds in that, but these are quite different, I think. And the colours are pretty nice as well. Pretty Christmassy coloured. It doesn't have to be for Christmas, obviously, but it can definitely be used for it. So then moving on to the next ones. Some other round beads here, and see if it's kind of the only colour or if there's some other ones as well. I think that's the only ones, just like this. Kind of, obviously they're smaller than the ones I just looked at, but a kind of metallic finish to them. A bit coppery, which is quite nice, but matte as well. And they're just rounds basically. I would probably say about 4mm. So looking at the paper, I'm thinking whether it's these round drug Czech beads, 4mm ones, seem to be the only ones in about that size, and obviously as rounds. But it doesn't say about the colour, but I'm thinking it's them. So they're pretty nice. I do like things with metallic finishes, so they'll go with pretty much anything, and you do get a fair few in there. Even though the bags are pretty small, you get a fair few of these, so you should be able to use them in a project, I would think. Now moving on, we also have some actual tiny seed beads in some different colours. See if I can just find all of them. So, looks to be them, and also these blue ones. And I think that's it, yeah. So it's little seed beads, some pretty nice colours. In a way quite Christmassy, but again it doesn't really have to be, so I think that's pretty nice. These blue ones are nice. I always love this kind of blue colour. And they seem silver lined as well, so that is my favourite seed bead kind, is when they're silver lined. It just really makes the colour pop, I think. But say mixing these for something, maybe make like a nice snowflake kind of thing or ice kind of thing with the white and the blue. That would definitely go nice together. And these, like dark burgundy colour, that's a really nice colour as well. Them three would go well together as well. And a bit of a purpley aubergine colour, again silver lined. And then we have a more amber colour. And you do again get a fair bit in there, so you should be able to use these seed beads for decent amount project wise, I would think, especially if you obviously combine them. That gives you a lot more. Oh, I just saw these as well. I think I just missed them before. Those large seed beads basically. There's some blue ones as well. So if I just bring them back in. It's actually 4 colours. They all go pretty well together, to be honest. You can easily use them together. Now then, moving on to some other ones. Now these ones I was quite curious about because they look very interesting. Just gotta get some of them out. Because definitely a different mix of colours in this, but kind of have like a pattern to them. At least some of them do. It's like striped seed beads basically. So they're kind of clear, but then they have colour in them. Different colours, depending which ones, but they're actually striped, which I don't think I've had beads like that before. Because then you have some here where they're clear, and then with blue stripes, but then you have some where I think here clear with green stripes, and then it's clear with blue stripes, but then it's lined with pink on the inside by the looks of it, which makes that look very different. Gives a nice pop there of colour. Well, that's quite interesting. Again, seed beads. It's larger than the previous ones though. So yeah, that would basically be, where do they go? Striped Czech seed beads, 6/0. I did think it was around a size 6/0 seed bead. So it would also be nice for Kumihimo really, and I think give quite a different effect because of the stripes. It would make it look even more intricate, I could imagine. So quite curious about them, see how they would maybe look in something. And then the next ones are these ones here. Now they look like teardrop beads and a blue colour, like a clear blue. So it's almost a bit like a teardrop, an actual teardrop, makes me think of. Now I do actually think there's also some other teardrops here. Might just get them out as well in a different colour, in like a bit of a pale green. It goes pretty well with that blue colour as well actually. And I do like teardrop shapes, especially I think they look really nice making flowers with teardrop shapes. I think that definitely works well. So obviously you use one teardrop there for a petal, and then you just put them together and kind of create a flower. I think that's really cute. So yeah, again, according to the paper, we have teardrop beads 6x4mm, and then we also have small teardrop beads, again 6x4mm. There's probably these two here. A pretty nice size as well. You can get nice delicate little flowers with them. Now moving on to the next ones. Grab this bag here, and these are green beads, and they actually look like little stars. That is really cute. Little star shapes. So you got the hole going through there. Looks to be coming from a point and then coming down between two of the other points opposite there. That is really cute. It's definitely very Christmassy. But again, it doesn't have to be stars, don't have to just do with Christmas, but that is cute. Either using them just as little drops, maybe use them as charms, or string them onto something as well, you get that star shape. That's definitely quite cute. And description wise as well, it does look to be star Czech glass beads, 6mm ones, which is a pretty nice size in general. It's one of my favourite sizes for beads. So they're not too small, but they're also not too large. So nice and delicate little stars, I think. Now the next bag I'm just going to grab is this one here. This one caught my eye straight away when I opened it, the box, and took out the bags here. It's probably the AB coating. I'm always down for a nice AB coating. But a bit of a closer look at what the beads actually are. It's definitely an interesting shape. The little owls by the looks of it. Just lay them out, you can see them properly. So the base is blue from what it looks, but then it's coated with an AB coating there on top, so it really gives them that play of colour but also that very shine to them. So I would say that that's these ones here. Owl beads 15x7mm. So obviously 15 is the long way and then 7 is the width of them. It says that they're rare, so I'm not entirely sure what that means. Obviously that they maybe don't have loads of them, or they didn't have that many left or something, but they are actually really cute. Now I just need to see. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah, it's what I thought. The hole goes from basically the top of the head and then down to the bottom of the tail there. So again, you can string them on, either just an extension from each other, put something in between, or make them into drops or something. They're definitely really cute. So I do like them quite a lot. Can definitely see trying to come up with something for them because they're cute, definitely. And then the next bag we have is also some blue beads. So they look like little leaves of some sort. And again, we have the hole going through there from the bottom and then out to the tip. Yep. A nice little kind of aqua colour. And then just looking at the paper again, we have, where did they go? These ones, leaf Czech beads 10x13mm. Seems about right as well. So you get a definition because there's actually kind of carving into them as well of the leaves. Now the leaves with the little owls would be kind of cute to do something with that. The colours go nice together as well. But they're pretty cute by themselves. Or earlier when I mentioned about the, I can just find them again here, the drops, and make flowers with the drops and then use the leaves to add to the flowers. That's an idea. So there's definitely possibilities there to combine them with some of the other beads as well. Now another bag here is these little squares or boxes kind of shape. Now it looks a little bit like the hole might be different than I would expect. Actually, it looks like the hole goes from a corner to the opposite corner, which is quite interesting. Yeah, it does. So instead of just having a hole going from a flat side to the opposite flat side, it actually goes from, I can try and show you a little bit and find it, from corner to the opposite corner. So if you stringed them, they would actually sit a little bit like this. I can get it in the right direction there. So that's definitely different. It gives it a bit of a different feel, a very different feel I think, than just having them go from flat side to flat side, because they sit very differently then. And again, a nice clear colour, but then that kind of delicate blue goes with the theme of a lot of the other things as well. Now the next ones are some, what looks like faceted rounds, a nice deep green, and a bit on the larger side again, and nice sparkle as well because the faceting, I love faceted beads because you can never have too much sparkle. And there's 4 of them in the bag, so you have a few, a decent large size. And the next ones here, they look a bit different as well. I'm curious about them. They're kind of like this iris colour finish to it, it makes me think of. That looks like a very unusual shape. I'm not sure how well it's going to come across, but it's kind of, it's pretty much, that's interesting. So it's basically 3-sided. But it's not like a triangle or anything. It's a little bit hard to describe. But I'm guessing the hole goes from one point to the other. So yeah, it does, but then it kind of has, it has 3 sides, but they're a little bit rounded. So it's not just 3 flat sides. So that's quite interesting as well. And that finish, again, is a bit metallic. Also gives a really nice play with the light. So if you maybe make a piece where they move, it would really catch on that as well. So I think we're slowly getting through them here. It's definitely quite a lot of bags. So some other beads as well. These look quite interesting, very different as well. 4 beads, again on the larger side, but they're flat actually. And they kind of seem a bit like the flowers. Again, not nice color combination. It's kind of like a bit of a pale aqua teal-ish kind of color, and then you have what looks a bit coppery in the little kind of carved sections to really make it stand out. So yeah, I'm guessing that will be these ones here. You can see table cut flower beads, 12mm. So obviously that's the diameter there, and I assume that the hole would be along the side. Yeah, so I think that's the hole there. And then go straight across the middle there. So you can string them together. So they're pretty cute actually. That bluish teal aqua colour goes quite well with that copper. Now I think I've gone through all the beads now, so we have still some bags left, but I think it's findings then really that's left. So let's get this one first. This one looks quite interesting. I'll just get that out because I can't really see the design on the front. The little sticker is in the way. So it's a little button, it's like a shank button. So it's basically clear, but then it has a design on it with like a metallic coating on to really help emphasize that design. That's interesting. Pretty large size as well. So yeah, it's got to be this one here. It says rare as well, so we get one of them. Czech glass button. So it's made of glass, obviously it's clear. So it's pretty nice. It has an okay amount of weight as well. It's not too heavy, but it's not too light, so it feels pretty nice. And shank buttons is what I do tend to use the most. I use it for a button and loop closure, for some bracelet designs, especially for leather bracelets. I think I really like the way that they work shank buttons, so that's pretty nice. Then we have some little charms as well, and they look like little Christmas trees, obviously the Christmas theme. So it looks like it's kind of carved on one side to show that Christmas tree, and then it's flat on the other side. And it's a silver color, kind of antique silver, because where it's carved on the front you then have the antique look that really helps them stand out more. The 2 little Christmas tree charms. And then we have also some other charms as well, still Christmas themed. Obviously that's the theme of the whole box. So it looks to be some snowflake charms, same principle, that's silver color, but then slightly oxidized, I think. So cute little snowflakes. Again, you can either obviously use charms just as they are, make a nice cute little charm bracelet, a Christmas themed one just from this box really, and mix it maybe with some of the beads. Or you can use charms in a different way, add it to other things. And now another, what looks to also be a snowflake. We get one of them. It's definitely a lot more intricate in the design if you just compare it to the other ones. You see they're a bit simpler, but obviously they're smaller as well. So we could also combine them, I think, where you have that as like the main charm or the main feature, and these are kind of little side charms that kind of complement this one. So they definitely work together well, obviously because it's the same metal finish as well. That's pretty cute. Now continuing with the findings, there's also a little star. Now this is gold rather than silver, so there is also a bit of a mix in the metal finishes that you get in the findings. So it's a star made of kind of loads of little metal balls stuck together to make that star shape, and then it's a hole in the middle, so it's kind of just a frame. So it's pretty cute. It's a different effect because it's those balls put together. That's quite interesting. It's a pretty nice and bright gold as well. So yeah, according to the paper, it's a gold-plated large star, again in a charm form. Now another charm is the little, I was going to say snowman, Santa Claus, that I'd already kind of caught before, where he's got enamel to add that colour to it. The back of it is kind of just the plain gold, so it's got a back and a front, and then you have that little loop at the top. So it is, so I know I saw it before, it's right there, enamel Santa Claus charm, yeah. So it is like a metal base and then put enamel on there to add that colour and make it nice and Christmassy. Now only a couple bags left now, and these ones, I just need to see what this actually is. I think I have a pretty good idea. Just get a couple of them out. So silver and then also some gold ones. So yeah, finding them on the paper here, it is what I thought it was. We basically have antique silver snap-on bail. So you have little shape like this, and you can use them as a bail. Obviously if you make something you can add this, and then you have kind of a ready-made bail you can add to something else. Now we have, that's one, and then we have further down antique silver snap-on bail. So it says antique silver in both of them. I think that's probably just an error in the text, but we have the silver one, and then we have a gold color, obviously, because we also have silver and gold of the other findings and charms there. So because you might not want to mix them, obviously that's personal preference, and also depending what your preference is, if you make something with some of the beads, you might think the silver will go better or the gold will go better. So it's pretty nice to have both actually. So that's all the things that were in the box. I've gone through all the bags. So there's a nice mix, I think. There's obviously quite a few different beads and then also some findings. So you can combine things that are within the box. And there's also the fact that there's silver and gold as well, depending what your preference is, or if you think certain things go well together. You can obviously use them together like that. And there's both small seed beads if you're into that, and there's also quite large beads. So I think it's a pretty nice mix of everything. So both some basic things that you may be pretty familiar with, but also some quite unusual things, I think. So those flower beads were quite unusual to me, and also those owl beads I think were really cute, and I really like the colour and the finish on them as well. So I'll probably want to try and make something with them. So now I've looked at all the things that were in the box, I do just want to go through a little bit more info about the box itself. Now it is a monthly subscription box, and it is $22 a month. So for the month of October, which was this box here, this is then all the content that you got. And again, it's material based, so it's not certain projects that you get. You can kind of use the materials that you get to make those specific projects and the instructions. You can just get materials, and there is a theme in the box as well. Like I said, this one here is Christmas, because obviously it's coming pretty close, and other months will be other themes, obviously. So again, that's a bit different as well, I think, because boxes I've previously tried is, I have tried ones that are project based, where you get instructions as well, and kind of the materials that you get are meant for that specific project. And I've also tried one where you just get materials, but it's not a theme or anything. It's kind of just a selection of materials. And then here, obviously, we have a selection of materials, but it is a theme, but it's not specific project based. So it's quite interesting to see how the different boxes out there are put together. Now, what you can also do with this as well is if you like anything specific from a box, you can go on the website and order that specific thing, obviously if they have it in stock. So instead of having to hunt around for something, if you really like it, you can go on and find it easily. Which I do think is really nice because, for instance, if I used all these owl beads, which I think are really cute, and I wanted more of them, I wouldn't really necessarily know where to look for them. So it's nice to know that they should have them on the website and I can always go and buy more of those specific ones. So like I mentioned, the box that they sent me here was for the month of October, and it did take a while to arrive. I think there was a bit of a mix-up with the delivery. So this is a Christmas theme, so if you get a box, it might not be this specific one. Next month will be a different theme, so, and obviously different things inside of it as well. Just so you're aware that if you go and order one now, it might not be this exact same one. So now that I've unboxed the box, I'm going to go away and look at these materials a little bit more, try and play around with a few things and see if I could come up with any designs where I use these as well. And then I'll get back to you. So today is a different day and I picked out some of my favourite beads from the box, played around with them a little bit, and I thought I would just show you the pieces that I created from them. So the first ones I chose to work with were the owl beads because, as you maybe kind of caught on to, those are my favourite ones, period, out of the box. I think they're really cute. I love the colour and also the finish of them. So I chose to start with them, and obviously I kind of needed to figure out what I wanted to do with it. And then I thought it would be cute to add one of the owls in the Tree of Life, because I haven't done a Tree of Life design in a long time as well. So this is what I ended up making, kind of a teardrop shape frame and then Tree of Life in the middle there, but then just adding that owl into it and making it seem like it's kind of sitting on a little branch. So that's the main piece that I came up with, just using one of the beads as well. And then I also created a chain here. So that's actually, I used some of the other beads. These are the cube beads there that were drilled kind of from corner to corner. So they sit like this, add a bit of extra design to the chain and then just added normal chain to the rest of it. So that's the first piece that I created and used just one of those beads. So they're going to go a long way if you just kind of use one at a time or a couple at a time, because there were 8 in total here and I've just used the one. Now the next beads that I used, I can't actually show you because I used every single one of them, and those were, just get this one out of the way, the teardrop ones. So what I ended up doing is kind of what my thoughts were when I was going through the box as well. I turned them into flowers. So there were these 2 different colours, and what I did was created the flowers and then put them onto a wire kumihimo braid. I turned this one into a bracelet. So you just kind of get those flowers as a feature. And I also then made, because that's where I then used all of them, a pair of earrings to match basically. So again, making those flowers and attaching them onto a wire kumihimo braid. And then you have a cute little set there as well. So I do think these drops work really well as flowers. And like I said, I used every single one of the beads. So obviously there's no more left, but I did get basically 2 pieces. So obviously a bracelet and a pair of earrings out of it. So that's pretty decent, I think. So then the next beads that I chose to use were the actual flower beads. So just moving these. And I can't again show you the beads because I actually ended up using all of them. So that's these beads here. So kind of the basic green color, and then they have that copper touch added to them. So what I ended up doing was making little flowers. I have kind of made a similar design to this before, but where I made the flower part like a rose out of the wire. So I thought I would try and use the flower beads as obviously the main part of the flower, and then just kind of make a stem and some leaves. And then I made 3 of them and connected them together so they're going to hang on a necklace like this, and then just attached chain. And of course I used copper wire to match with the beads, and I think that actually goes really well together. So combining that copper wire with the copper that's added onto the beads as well. Now I actually got 4 of these beads and I used 3 for this necklace. So what I thought I would do as well is just take my ring off here, because I thought I would then make a ring to match. So I kind of thought these beads would work pretty cute as a ring as well, because it would kind of make that flower bead in itself stand out. And it looks like that. So kind of prong set it, but obviously because there's a hole and you can put wire through and also make it more secure, and just adding a couple of leaves there to kind of go along with the design of the necklace. So just a kind of cute little ring, and again that then used all 4 of these beads there, but you do get a set out with it you can wear just by using these few beads. So that is basically all the pieces that I made here, just using really a few of the beads. There's still quite a lot left. So we have kind of two sets, you could say, obviously earrings and bracelet, and then the necklace and ring. And then I have that nice little cute owl pendant as well. Now obviously for these pieces here, I chose to combine the beads with wire. So regular wire work, but also then wire kumihimo. But it really just shows you can really use them for many different purposes. So just to put it into perspective, this is everything I have left still from the box. So obviously I made these pieces here, and I have 3 empty bags where I emptied them completely, and then a couple of bags where I used some pieces out of it. But otherwise, this is everything I have left. So you can see you can really make quite a lot with the materials from this box here. So even though when it first arrived, the box itself looks quite small, you actually get a lot in there because it's pretty packed. So it goes a long way, I think, obviously depending how you choose to use them. So then just to round up my final thoughts and info as well, the box itself is $22, and also want to mention that they do ship worldwide. So I have the info here just to let you know in case you're interested. Shipping worldwide is $4.47, and like I said, they ship to all countries, so that's quite useful instead of being a bit restricted in case you're interested. So the company that makes these boxes here are Czech Beads exclusive, so that's what you're mainly going to be getting in the box, along with some findings as well. So if you're familiar with using those kinds of beads, you're probably going to have a pretty good idea of what quality to expect. Now it is a monthly subscription, and the way that they do it is each month will have a different theme. So like I said, this box here that I got was for October, and that was Christmas themed, so that's not the one that's available anymore, but obviously November, so it will be a different theme. But I think that's kind of a cute and different idea as well. Instead of either having to choose a project based or just random materials, it's actually kind of centered around a theme, so that's a bit different, I think. Now I know that the pieces I made here aren't exactly Christmas related. I did want to try and make some Christmas themed pieces, but my brain just isn't really in the Christmas mode just yet, so this is just what I came up with. So those were my overall thoughts. It was nice trying out a different subscription box again. It's nice to see how they're kind of different from each other because there are a few out there now. And thank you so much for Czech Beads exclusive for sending me this to give it a go. I really appreciate it. Now of course, if you're interested in giving this box a try yourself, what I'm going to do is leave all the information you might need and direct links in the description box down below the video here. But otherwise, I really hope you enjoyed opening this box with me and then seeing what we can maybe do with the pieces. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.